I'm going to talk to you about church attendance, maybe in a way you haven't thought of it before. Let's just see how it goes. I'm Zach. This is The Average Christian. It's a project exploring what it means to have a relationship with God and how do I live this out. So in my relationship with God, I have responsibilities to you. We have responsibilities to each other. In fact, the first and the greatest commandment is to love your God with all your heart, soul, mind, strength, with everything you have. The second is just like it or is similar to it, to love your neighbor as yourself. And so you are a servant to God, and many times you're a servant to God by being a servant to other people. Now, when it comes to quote unquote church attendance, I use that loosely because you don't attend church. The church is the body of Christ. We go to worship together, we go to class together. And I want you to think about your responsibility and how easy it is to blow that off. Most of us struggle with thinking about this going to this building and worshiping as a checklist deal. And so I need to make my check with God and God to give me his thumbs up. And it only constitutes, for most of us, 3 to 4 hours a week. And I don't know why, but it's so easy for us to blow that off. It's so easy for you to blow off, it's class. So what? It's Sunday night. So what? It's Wednesday night. So what? Look, I don't understand. I'll be the first to admit I don't understand Sunday night. I would love for us to just forget all that mess and have a 3-hour block on Sunday morning, and let's not turn the religious switch off. You know, I mean that lightly, but let's not turn this off and then turn it back on at 6 o'clock. But nevertheless, most places have that. And so we say, well, it's just Sunday night or it's just Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. And all the stuff in the world comes in the way of that. Okay, look, I could hit you with, and I'm not going to, I could hit you like most people do. And Hebrews 10:25 says, not forsaking the gathering of. Okay, we've talked about that. I've talked about how on this channel and other videos, how you can totally miss the point of that and be there every time the doors open. But I want to hit from a different perspective. And I'll take it personal first, then I'll give it over to you. And I hope that you think about this and think about responsibility. Let me illustrate it this way. Bible camp. Some of you watching this, Bible camp was big with, or you had places that you went. For me and my kids, 1 week out of the year, that's the place where you went. And there were certain people that you really hoped were there, usually for selfish reasons, but you wanted to see them there. And you enjoyed being around them and you got a lot out of it. You even the adults there, you wanted to have the same counselor, you wanted to have this Bible teacher, you wanted to hear this preacher and so forth. And so if any one of those were missing, it was a huge disappointment. Now, sometimes we get our feathers up because somebody tells us, well, it's disappointing that I don't see you for class, or I don't see you regularly here, or you blew this off for this, that, or the other. And they get offended. Well, I can't believe. Like it's just a relation thing between me and God. No, I owe you. See, notice the context of Hebrews 10:24. And we're not just talking about worship, but look, if that's the bare minimum and you don't do the bare minimum, how disappointing is that? I mean, how disappointing is the bare minimum in a marriage relationship or with a best friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, pick what you want. How disappointing is the bare minimum? And then to not meet that. So in verse 24, first of all, in 23, let us hold fast the confession. That's Hebrews 10:23. Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering. That's the goal. For he who promised is faithful. All right. So we keep our focus on God. Now, I help you do that. And I need you to help me do that. And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works. Okay, that's my job. I need to think about it. And look, church would be so much better if we'd all just do this. Let me think about how I'm going to stir you up to be more loving and to do better. By my presence, by my words, by my actions, and we got to spend time together in order to do this, right? So let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting. I like the way we're used to not forsaking the assembly. We don't talk like that. The ESV says, not neglecting to meet together. Now, neglect is neglect. Missing for things and not being able to be somewhere, and it's more than just once, it becomes habitual. So we're really talking about a habitual thing here where you're just neglecting that. You don't look at a dad who doesn't show up for something and say, well, he neglects his children. No. It's a way of doing things and a way of life. And then you look at that dad and you say, okay, he's deadbeat because he neglects his kids. But it happens over the course of time. Same with this. When you neglect this and you blow this off and act like this is no big deal, you are letting people down. You're letting people like me down. I need to be challenged. I need to be provoked. When you blow this off, it is discouraging. It is insulting. So he says, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another. See, there it is again. That's building up. So let's get together and encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. So it's not just about worshiping God. It's not just about pleasing God. It is about encouraging and building up. And it's not just about putting a check mark in a box. It is about not letting your brother or sister down and being valued that much. Hopefully you see that value and you put that much effort into your brothers and sisters to encourage them, to provoke them in that way that they miss you when you're not around. Okay, so hopefully this is another way to look at why it's so important for you to be with your brothers and sisters, and that your brothers and sisters need you. And it's nice to be needed, right? And we do need you. I need you. You need me. And we need to hold each other accountable like this. Not just, again, we didn't see you here today and you're missing and so forth. And so we're going to reprimand you. No, I need to see you. I need you to be this for me. And I also want to be able to serve you like this as well. Maybe to just give us one more reason to take this more seriously and not, blow it off for just, flimsy reasons and so forth. I want to thank you for being with us today. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, right here is your button that'll keep you up with new releases. If this video helps you, please like it. It gets YouTube to recommend this video more. So the more likes, the better. It just helps us out. We're trying to grow a channel to help other people. If you want to see what YouTube recommends, it's over here in our last releases as well. Podcast listeners, thank you for being with us. Facebook watchers as well. If you have not already, please subscribe, rate, and review listening on podcast. For those on Facebook, you can like the page. You can go to YouTube and see all these videos and the playlists and so forth. And everybody, please consider sharing with somebody else in order to help them.